Ann Kilkelly was my mentor. I don't have words to describe how much she means to me. The piece she made, Salt Marsh Sweet, with her partner Carol, was so... It just made me think. I thought about it all the time. I knew that the work Anne and Carol were doing was the embodiment of academia. And that's so rare. And Anne did that so much. And with such ease and curiosity and playfulness. In honor of her as a documentary artist, I would like to perform some of this interview, these tidbits I want to share as performance. I feel like just reflect Anne, her heart, her mind, her humor. You got your thing on? That's a great question. There's looking for something in the structure of the piece, which is not by looking at things. You're looking with things. So it's not exactly a trajectory that has a beginning, middle, and end, but I do think it has this what's the one? Additive quality. The story. I would say it's a story of seeing more and hearing more.
A reading of The Most Mary-Like Girl by Ann Kilkelly. The Virgin Mary's head, a question mark where the face should be, was outlined in blue on a white poster board sign just inside the church's basement door. Under the picture, the words, "Who will it be?" announced the Confraternity of Christian Doctrine's Most Mary-Like Girl contest at St. Charles Catholic Church in Bayport, Minnesota.
The way I thought about swamps is that they smell and there's too many bugs. And, in my just being on it, sitting on the dock, animals, collecting stuff, was astonishing. So it converted me from, I just want to go to the beach. It got me really interested in what's happening. And I feel like a lot more connected to the place, actually.
Still lost in the Beatitudes and the Baltimore Catechism, 14, fat, and a virgin, I was wholly unprepared for the contest, for which a sterling rosary was advertised as a prize, with $5 for the runner-up.
She always, whether it was class or just spending time together or getting lunch, had such a beautiful sense of humor and joy and a sense of the absurd and the silly, as well as a really careful ear and eye and the mind and attention of the scholar.
Both have this passionate love of water and any form, really, and natural things. We both have this real strong attraction to this outside. Not unusual at all, but it was there. And we were so very happy at that time, just to discover how much we both loved those things. And we wanted to make them a bigger part of our lives, so that's an interesting undercurrent. And what was the question?
The contest notwithstanding, my relationship with the Blessed Virgin had always been profound. her downcast eyes and folded hands, her constant maternity were everything towards which a young woman could aspire. I did love the Virgin. She conceived without original sin, immaculate conception. I, on the other hand, was overwhelmed by my body. However much I aspired to her cool purity and goodness, my soul was swathed in folds of flesh. My unsanctified longings were for sweets and greasy French fries. In my body, I knew I was not like the Virgin Mary.
When I started working with her in the dance studio and taking her classes, I felt so understood. And what's funny is that working with her more and more helped me understand the world better and how I fit into it.
We originally had this idea with my friend Catherine. Catherine is a biologist. She studies freshwater and mussels, and she tap danced with me for like 10 years. She was like really a good dance partner, and she started talking about the river and how it sounded, and she was collecting samples of mussels, and they'd be going, like that. And that's sort of a conversion to Carol's interest into looking a lot of stuff in the marsh, and my interest in the idea of getting sound from natural sources.
Several years before the contest, Sister Mary Virginia had singled me out, as she often did, to recite a long passage that nobody else appeared or admitted to have mastered. After my letter-perfect recitation, with a vindictive gleam in her pale eye and a mounting fervor to castigate the stupid and the morally slovenly, Sister Mary Virginia called me up to the front of the class. She praised my recitation.
One of the only faculty at Virginia Tech who read my writing carefully and encouraged me in working towards becoming a playwright.
My choreographic idea was Carol and my decisions to have the 5 elements: water, mud, crabs, birds, grass, and that I began to worry about the possibility that we would be stupidly imitating natural forces. But then I realized that we weren't really mirroring the right life of the different elements, but we were responding to them. It becomes not precisely about the marsh, but about something else that is revealed in that kind of exploration. Whenever I write whatever I do, somehow it always comes back to my mother and the way that she interacted with this river, this beautiful thing. I love you so much, Anne. Thank you for everything.